All right, hello. We are in the kitchen. It is Sunday, late afternoon, and it's about 3 o'clock. I invited my sister over for dinner at 5, and I'm just getting started, hoping that this is going to be a fairly quick meal to prepare. Just to show you, I have on my very bright print barrel leg pants. I put on this little kind of sienna colored tank underneath this open crochet sweater. So that's what this is all about. And I wanted to show you the pants because they are the ones that came that had such a teeny tiny waist. They wouldn't even go around my thigh. And then I ordered them in the 2X and they took forever to come in, and they finally came in, and they are big, and I did have to turn down the waist. And they're cute. I don't know if they're salvageable. I'm going to take them to the tailor and see what she has to say so you can make them better. I'm going to make a garlic Parmesan chicken tonight, and green beans, mashed potatoes, and my husband bought some shrimp. He's having a taste for some garlic shrimp, so I'm going to go ahead and make that as well. And I bought fresh green beans, and they're so much better than the frozen, and probably cheaper than the frozen, I want to say. I mean, at least here. This is a full pound of green beans, and they were $3.99 a pound at the grocery today. So I went ahead and got those, and they're not hard to make. Nothing is hard to do. It's just time consuming. So do you feel like you want to take the time to do it is probably the bigger and better question. I'm going to turn the light on because it does seem a little dark here. Okay, better. Okay, so break off the part that has the little stem on it. The other side looks good. You can leave it, doesn't matter, and snap them in half. Some people may call them snap beans. Maybe you know it as that. Back in the day, grandparents would sit on the porch with their big bag of beans and a huge pot and just watch the neighborhood pass by as they very much mindlessly, because it doesn't take a lot of time or attention, just snap them in half. And you'll notice there is like a little seam on them. If that little seam just happens to pull when you're breaking them in half, then go ahead and just peel it out. Doesn't matter. This is a pretty simple way to do these. I'm going to, as you see, that one just came off. I am just going to go ahead and break the little ends off of these, if they even need it. Some of them don't need it. And then I'm going to put some chicken broth in the pan, and that'll be that. And I'm going to put them up to just steam away. So today it seems like a little bit of a lazy day. I don't know if it's a lazy day because I did so much yesterday, or if it's just my tail is bothering me, but it does feel like a little bit of a lazy day for me. Got up this morning to go teach classes. I cleaned up the studio, getting it all ready for company this coming weekend. Next Saturday is our event for Peach's Pantry, so if you're watching and you're local, come out and join. If you say, look, yoga's not for me, your cause is great, but it's not for me, I'm going to just challenge you. Give the 8:30 or the 9 o'clock class, the gentle stretch, a shot. Okay, it's not going to be a bunch of bendy twisty stuff. You might find some muscles you forgot that you had. But come on out and bring 5 non-perishable food items for the class. And then you might find that it's not so bad after all. And at least that form of yoga is something that you can manage to do. And then you can stay for the simple self-defense class. then there's going to be that intro to, the kids yoga. So if you've got kids and you want to bring them along, we'll do the kids yoga after the self-defense. So that'll give everybody a chance to recover from doing the self-defense class. And then we'll go ahead and have the intro to power yoga with Megan. Jamie unfortunately had to work, so she's not going to be doing that vinyasa. Either I will take it or Megan will take the vinyasa. One of the two of us will do it. That's not going to be a big deal. Then we're going to have the plant medicine class with Amy, which will be awesome. And let's see. And then after the plant medicine class will be the vinyasa and then the hatha. And then we will slide into that sound bath. So yeah, it's going to be a big day. Before I go any further, I'm going to check the audio on this. So not that you're going to have a big wait, but I am going to pause it here and we're going to just check the audio. I do not want to get through making another meal and then not have it show for y'all. Okay, audio is good. Yay. All right, so that is the basic schedule for the sound bath. Really hoping it's going to go well this year. I've got some big plans to make it even bigger next year, like that little brown spot in that. So that one's going in the garbage. And I mean bigger. We're going to find a bigger venue, hopefully get more teachers, have some vendors next year, kind of make a little yoga fest, but in the true spirit of yoga, the giving part of it. So it'd be awesome. So let's just turn out, make it a great thing this year. Really appreciate it. You know, pass the word along to your friends if you haven't already. I did get several videos posted. I'm still now just behind Saturday, but it was a big day yesterday. We went, let's see, I did not work out. I worked out this morning. And yesterday kind of got up, lounged a little bit, and then decided I was going to go for a hike. And I mean to tell you, I underestimated the hike. I went back to Fairbanks. If you remember when I was there the last time, I had done a little shot of the sign that said there's a whole nother little city and mill off to down this other path, and one of the bits was 2 miles and one of them was 6. I thought I'd do the 2-mile one, so I went down the side of Fairbanks that has the cemetery and the one mill, and then the sign is at that halfway point, so that little veer off is at the halfway point. When I got to that, you walk down this hill, and if you're in a riverbed. It's a dry riverbed. I called it a ravine. Could be wrong. But found myself there. And then when you get down to the bottom of the hill, there's no other trail sign that says this way to the town or this way to the other thing that's 6 miles away. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? So I wanted to trust my instincts and trying to use a little bit of logic in there too. Because I figured, gosh, if you're building a town, you're going to want to be near the water, but not on the water, because you want to be able to have access to the water relatively easily without having to travel too far. And you're going to want to stay far enough away so that you don't, if the river floods, you don't lose everything. So that was my logic. So I headed off in the direction of where I know the San Pedro River was. And got to the river, and the river was dried up. So when we were there with Jeff about a month ago, maybe, there was water in the river at different points. It looked like there was a decent amount of water, nothing huge, but still quite a bit. Totally dry, bone dry now. But I walked along the river and then saw a path. So I got on the path and then got to this one point where there was this whole other path off to the right, and it looked like I don't know all the right terms, but like where the water will flow from. So like it obviously was up because water was coming down. There was no water, but water would be coming down if there were water. So I walked that for a while. And if you watch the video, I was saying, oh, there's, you know, I met some horses along the way. They had riders. And so did that. Walked on this path. On most of the path, I saw horse hooves and lots of horse poop. And I'm like, okay, so life has been here, probably going in the right direction. But then when I veered off in the direction that the river would have been flowing downhill, there got to be a point where I was not seeing any more horse hooves. But I did see javelina prints, and then something that had 3 claws, something like that, was in the sand, dirt. So I went on that for quite some time. And I probably would have continued on because it wasn't a hard walk. Once you got past a couple points, it wasn't a hard hike. But we had plans to go to the Pima County Fair yesterday as well, and we were supposed to leave the house about 3:30. So I wanted to make sure I gave myself enough time to get back to the car and then get back home to get a shower, because let me tell you, there's a whole new level of dirt. You got to watch that video because towards the end, I mean, you could write your name in the dirt on my legs. And I'm a girl that doesn't want to be dirty. So anyway, it was really a cool hike. I encourage you to watch the video because the terrain varied so much. It was really pretty incredible, you know, from dry riverbed. Then it got into this whole rocky area where there was kind of rock on both sides, and you walked in the middle of the rock. In between the rock, and the rock changed colors even, which was also pretty interesting. And I didn't see any javelinas or whatever the little 3-clawed beastie was. Didn't see any of that, and maybe they saw me and we just decided to live and let live, and I appreciated that. So made my way back down and didn't have a hard time getting back. It was a little questionable about where I was supposed to get back on the main trail. And then instead of going back the way I came, which would have been via the mill and the cemetery, I went around the other half because it's a halfway point, so what's it matter? And I went back towards the actual Fairbanks ghost town. And I will say it got tough. And what made it tough, maybe because my tailbone was bothering me, but there was a lot of really soft sand kind of dirt. And that made it a pretty challenging hike, even though it was somewhat level. So it was like the last half mile or so. I'm like, am I gonna make this? Do I need to like just have a seat? And if I'm late, I'm late. But I did it and I was okay. And in the video, I think I talked about resiliency. And that was early in the video. So I tested my own resiliency on that hike. I think all in total, it turned out to be about 7 miles. Give or take. So I was happy with my experience. I was really happy to be back out there in nature and hiking. I missed doing that over the winter. And it was funny too. You'll see at the end of that video, and I didn't record it at the beginning, unfortunately, but the parking lot was packed when I got there. I got there, I want to say about 10:45. And I finished about 2, maybe, I don't know, 1:30, about 1:30. 1:32, 1:45. I think it was like 1:45. It was a full 3 hours that I was there. And when I got back, no cars. My car was the only one left. Like everybody else was like, nope, we're not going to be here any longer than this. And they took off. So it was just me. I did meet up, I told you, with some horses and riders, and that was kind of cool. It was 5 horses and 1 mule. And I thought that was pretty cool to see the mule up close, because I guess once seeing it up close, now I know the difference between a mule and a donkey. Seeing that one up close, so that was a nice little educational experience for me. Okay, so these are our bits and bobs that just are not going to make the cut. I'm going to throw that away. And then all of our beans are broke, and we just had this nice little chat about my hike yesterday, and that wasn't so tough of a thing to do. I'm gonna just get rid of these that didn't make the bag, clean up that wet spot from the strainer, and to this I'm gonna put chicken broth, or chicken stock, I should say, our homemade stock. Maybe I gotta open that up. I'm just gonna pour that in there. So some people put water, some people put butter. I may add butter to it later, but the stock is really rich and it'll add so much flavor. So we're just gonna pop this on the burner, get the right burner turned on. Okay. Got that going on medium. I can probably put it more medium low because I've got time yet. The shrimp we're going to do the very last thing because it cooks up so fast. Potatoes I'll do after I prep the chicken, so we'll get our cutting board out for that. Grab a knife. We're going to butterfly the chicken. We're going to pound it out, make it nice and thin. And I did give PR a green bean, and she decided that green beans weren't her thing. So into the garbage that one goes. And because I'm going to be working with this raw chicken, I'm going to go ahead and grab an apron and put an apron on. And you can come along with me because Mr. Gimble's deciding to work today. Let's see, do we have one that matches or coordinates? Maybe yes, maybe no. Ooh, that'll be a big clash. Let's see. It shouldn't be so much drama, right? To try and just grab an apron, who the hell cares, right? Except me, I care. All right, I think I'll just wear the denim Pampered Chef one. Get out of my own way. I'm gonna go ahead and just take off the sweater. That way we don't get chicken stuff on the sleeves. And then we will get to doing this chicken. Some people have a wooden mallet. Oh, you're not following me. What happened? Come on, we're going back. We're gonna have a fuss. Let's see if we can't get that going again. Technology's great when it works. Not working. I'm leaving this in, just so you know. And now it doesn't want to work at all. So I'm going to turn you so that you are back at the kitchen counter, and I will come back around. So Mr. Gimble worked for a little bit, and then he decided he was finished. Good help is hard to find. It's not that it's not charged. I don't know what it is, but it's not that it's not charged, because the light keeps going on. got some of the windows open because it's just a really breezy day today. My Pampered Chef apron, back when I was selling Pampered Chef. All right. Okay. So we're gonna do this plastic Ziploc bag just because it keeps it a little bit neater. And there's different kinds of mallets. I'm gonna just step out of view for a minute. Do I have both kind. Good. Okay, so there's the wooden mallet, flat on one side, looks like a hammer, and you can see it's kind of indented on the other. That'll work. I also have this, which is a Pampered Chef piece. Not sponsored, just a big believer in it. The flat side for pounding and this spiky side for tenderizing. Same with the wooden one. Flat side for pounding, and then this kind of rougher side for tenderizing. You can use it on any meat, chicken, steak, whatever it is you're making. If you have a really tough meat, you want to go ahead and tenderize it. That works out great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and turn our chicken into little cutlets. Okay, and we're gonna, to butterfly your chicken means to slice it in half, but keep it attached. We're gonna go all the way through. We're just gonna make cutlets out of it. Okay, let me move this out of the way for you. So finding your thickest piece or thickest part, and then of the breast, and then just cutting through. If we were to butterfly, we would leave it just like this. Okay, when would you butterfly your chicken? Say you want to make a stuffed chicken. You want to put spinach and feta cheese in it, or maybe you want to stuff it to kind of a riff on a cordon bleu. You could stuff Swiss cheese and ham in it, but then you would put that in the middle and you'd cover that back up. And sometimes people will put toothpicks in there just to hold it in place. But I am going to go all the way through because we are making cutlets. And we're going to pound them out. You can remove any excess fat from it if there's any fat on it. There's a little bit on these. All right, get rid of that. And I'm just gonna pop them back into these little bags that I took them out of until I get them all filleted. And then we'll go through the whole, ooh, just got yucky chicken stuff on the counter. Oh, these are some big breasts. These were some well-fed chickens. And I'm just gonna rinse this out real quick. Mr. Gimbal's not following and I'm out of frame. So sorry about that, guys. Maybe I'll cut it out. Maybe I won't, because you know that's going to be one more thing to take up a little more time, and I'm so slow getting these things back up. So now that I've rinsed that out, I'll just go ahead and lay this chicken into this pan. Rinse my hands off again. I hear Jessica in the back of my head with that applesauce and ADHD. If you haven't checked her out, hilarious. Go ahead and check her out. Wash your fucking hands. You touch raw meat of any kind, wash your fucking hands. And then wash your counters when you're done. And she is hilarious, really. And she's real. You know? She's just a mom doing the best she can kind of thing. And today, like I said, it's just one of those days where I too am doing the best I can. I'm going to throw this meal together. Just pop that in there. This is really a big chicken breast. So I am probably going to cut this in half and then fillet from there. So that's just an awfully big piece. And I may just end up doing half this chicken and the garlic parm chicken, and then half of this chicken I may just go ahead and, I don't know, maybe bread them and fry them for cutlets, and we'll make sandwiches out of them. I could also just boil it up. Maybe I'll do that. Boil it up and make a chicken salad, because I did buy some celery today. We haven't had chicken salad in a while. And that'll give a lunch thing for the week. That sounds like a really good idea. See, we're just going on the fly here. Cooking on vibes. That's what we should call this segment. Cooking on vibes. We look at a recipe, we get the idea, and then we just go. We just go from there. I am not one to follow a recipe, as you will remember, I am sure. Okay, all of our chicken is filleted. I'm going to rinse my hands and this board. I'm going to rinse this as well. It would be really nice if Mr. Gimbal would work. I do have a smaller camera that the whole thing revolves around a gimbal. It wouldn't be filming on my phone. It would be filming on that itself. So I'll flip that over. It has been washed. And I'll get that up. And just because I'm a little crazy when it comes to my counters being clean, I'm going to go ahead and just take this Clorox wipe and wipe down all around. Not that I'm not going back in there with chicken, but it will be pretty well contained. And that's important. It's important to me. Whether it makes a difference or not in the cooking, who knows? But it's important to me that I have a clean up as possible space. Okay, so this is gonna get loud. And I will just do maybe one or two with you, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera because nobody wants to hear this really loud stuff. These are all right about the same size. Rinse my hands again. Is it any wonder my hands are dry? All right, and you don't have to pound it out. I pound it out. This could be plenty thin enough for you. I just want them to be thinner yet. And this is where you get to take out all those aggressions, right? Just heat this stuff up. When you go to, say, an Italian restaurant and you're getting, most decent Italian restaurants, your chicken parm is really thin. Chicken, is it? I want to say scaparelli, and that's the designer, and that's not what we're talking about. Scapina, or the lemon chicken. It's all been pounded out pretty thin. So you always can do this, and it just makes it, I mean, it's more tender, in my opinion, more tender. Let me rinse my hand again. All right. And yes, I did put more than one piece of chicken in the bag because it'll fit, and I can have to do fewer switch outs. You're going to feel some pieces are going to feel a little bit more dense than others, and they're going to require you to pound them out a little bit more than the others. And you can adjust this for however it is that you like to eat. You may not want to go through all of this. You may be like, no, thanks. Just whatever it's like coming out of the back package is what you're getting. And there's no shame in that. None whatsoever. And here I kept you on camera the whole time with me. We're done with this already. Just give it a good... Yeah, between the yoga and the beating things and chopping things with that chopper, I'm pretty calm. All right, see how thin that came out? And that's just great. Compared to, well, you saw what it was when we very first started, right? How each piece was. Does it seem like a waste to throw that bag away? Yep, but guess who's not washing it and reusing it? I remember when I was young, we had to do that. Fortunate enough to not have to worry about that. Let's get this out of the way. Just put that in the sink. And I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe down my counters again. Real life happening. PR has heard somebody outside and she needs to let them know that she owns this whole block. Probably thinks most of the neighborhood. Yesterday, she got in trouble. Jeff went out, I think, to go to the grocery store, and I had just come home from the hike and I was getting ready to get in the shower, and got in the shower. He left. And I got out of the shower and I heard her barking, and then I heard her go through the doggy door, and then I didn't hear her anymore. So wrapped in my bathrobe, compliments of Judy, I go and look in the backyard and I don't see her. And I open the door and I start calling for her and she's not there. And I'm like, little girl, where did you go? And I look out at the front door. And sure enough, she's standing at the front door. We just have that orange temporary fence kind of thing up while they're doing the pool. And this is the second time she has decided that she can be on the other side of that orange fence. So I made sure she understood that she was in trouble, that that was a bad thing. She should not be doing that. And she sulked for a little bit. She got over herself. Okay, now we are going to use Buffalo Wild Wings, a garlic Parmesan sauce. Sweet Ray's makes one. I don't know who else makes one, but I was told that this is a really good one. So this is the one that I bought, and I did already open it because it was double sealed. I figured, oh, it would only have the sleeve on the outside. No, it was also covered on the inside. So they're keeping us safe, this Buffalo Wild Wings. Want a pan for this. So I'm going to use my air fry pan. And I think I talked about this with you guys once before, but this is the pan that we use to air fry in. It's this deeper pan, so it's going to catch the juices. It's only about an inch deep, all right? And then it's got essentially a cookie sheet, a cookie cooling rack. Shouldn't say cookie sheet, a cooling rack that sits on top and keeps itself elevated. So the chicken's not gonna soak in its own juices. And I'm gonna spray that because I don't want any of the stuff to stick to it and make my cleanup job any harder. Because like I said, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm feeling a little, I don't know if it's tired or if it's just because we don't have a lot of sun right now and the clouds covering most of the sun. I'm using this up, but just so you know, I did buy a kitchen pump bottle thing. I'm gonna go ahead and put some olive oil or vegetable oil in this to spray the pans with. But I want to use up what I have because we are not an economy where we are going to be throwing things away for no reason. we will use what we have and move on from there. Get a bowl so we can dredge. As far as we're going to dredge this, it's pretty thick stuff. So we'll see. I've got a lot of chicken. That may determine how far we go with this too. It smells like Parmesan cheese. Okay. So just going to take our chicken and both sides. And then go ahead and just lay it on the rack. And it's just Jeff, my sister, and I. But we're kind of hoping this is going to come out well. And who do I give credit to this recipe to? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I watched so much on the internet. Cooking videos are one thing that I am like always watching. So I'm not sure who I saw it from or how long ago even I saw it. It's just that it kind of came back to me. It sounded like a good thing. It sounded like it wouldn't be too challenging, too difficult. And it sounded like what we were doing for dinner tonight. And Jeff is pretty easygoing. One, if he doesn't have to cook it. And he's always open to trying new things. Which is a good thing, because I'm always trying new things. Okay. I do think it smells good. I think it's going to come out well. I'm going to go ahead and just do a few more pieces. These I might leave sitting in their own juice because that's the only air fry pan I have. All right, I'm going to grab another one of these tins and then I'll be back to you, okay? If I can get this remote to work, because you know. Okay, we're back. Nothing wants to work. Electronic wise, nothing wants to work. So I did, while I was off camera, spray the aluminum pan. Not that I care about a mess, but I don't want it to stick either. And we're going to go ahead and just do a few more pieces of chicken. And then the rest of it I can always boil for that chicken salad, like I said. Because that just sounds kind of good. Our weather doesn't know what it wants to do or be these days. It's been rather chilly all day today. And I think it's just chilly because we don't have the sun out. And my idea of chilly and everybody else's are two different things, so do understand that. Most people are probably like, where's she living? Even the locals are like, where's she living? That it's chilly outside. But it is to me. Okay, hands washed. Now, what I remember the recipe saying was that you sprinkle panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese. And I found this crispy panko blend seasoned coating, Parmesan herb with Parmesan cheese and garlic. So it's going to add to the flavor. And it's by the brand Kinder's. It was a little more expensive than your regular. And you most certainly can do this yourself. Plain breadcrumbs or plain panko breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese, and garlic powder. Absolutely, yes, you can do this. It does not need to cost you anything extra. We're going to coat this. I do remember the recipe saying only the one side gets coated. So make for a nice little crispy topping. And it'll just automatically stick to this chicken. And just because I'm a little extra and I want to do a little extra, I'm going to melt a little bit of butter and drizzle the butter over this so that it'll kind of brown a little extra. Maybe impart a little more flavor. All right, I used a good portion of that package. I'm going to say about half of it. Kinders make spices too. A lot of the people I watch on YouTube cook use the Kinder spices. I have not gotten into that yet. I can usually do all my own spice mixtures. I've even made my own. Like I ran out of taco seasoning once and I made my own taco seasoning. I looked up the recipe online and made that. And I made some other spice blend myself. So it's not like it's a difficult thing. Not at all. Yeah, I'm pulling a cup out of the dishwasher. Okay. We're just gonna put a little butter in here. Yes, butter can be left out on the counter. Okay, I have this handy dandy little butter dish. Would hold 4 regular cubes of butter. I just keep 2 in there at all times. But if you guys really go through butter, you could easily fit a pound of butter in that. I'm gonna pop this in the microwave. Let that go. We'll drizzle the butter on that. Let's preheat our oven. We'll go 350. Well, we're air frying, so and on my stove, we can just hit the air fry and start. And I should pull out my little pan that's in there, get that out of the way. And we're gonna check our green beans because they are steaming. So they're looking good. Sorry, you're getting my back. Check our butter. All right, and it's melted. You could also take, and I have that. All right, well, if I use all the butter, then we'll use it. Avocado oil, olive oil in the spray, and just kind of spritz that over it. I will do that with whatever I don't have enough butter for. So, now I didn't salt and pepper the chicken because I feel like there is going to be enough. Of course, I didn't have enough butter. So we will use the avocado oil in the rest. It's just going to help the browning of the crumb topping. Olive oil is the one that's open. Avocado is not open yet, so we're going to use this one. Perfect. Everybody can have a little extra. Okay. Now, when you're air frying, at least my oven tells me, it's already ready. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop this chicken in the oven. It is 20 to 4. My sister should be here for 5. It can be ready. We're going to address the potatoes. Actually, we have this chicken yet. We're going to go ahead and put that up to boil for our chicken salad. So I'm going to put some water in this. Now, our water is supposedly safe. However, we have the reverse osmosis water, so anything basically any cooking I do that requires boiling, I always use my reverse osmosis water. I don't know. That's just me. And we're just going to drop the chicken, wasn't that much left, into this littler pot. And I will wash this aluminum pan out because it's still going to be good for another use. That'll be okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just put some seasonings in the water. So while this boils, so it's just garlic powder. And if you are local and you really like your spices, Penzeys, Penzeys. They are in Tucson. And I know I've talked about them on the channel once before. And they are just a small company. I don't know that they're probably considered mom and pop. They have a few locations, but the quality of their spices is really good. So, and I want to eventually switch all my spices over to theirs, but you don't always go through all your spices that quickly. So that was garlic. This is onion powder, not salt. I do try and keep the salt down to a minimum, put the lid on it, and I'm going to swap these pots out because I need the smaller burner for my smaller pan. Get that out of the way. I don't need to burn myself, which I will do if I do not get something. So I'll grab that. Okay. Is that on? No, that is not on. There we go. It's on now. I'm going to pop that chicken up to boil, so that'll go, and I can just run that through the food processor later. I will wipe down this counter again, because who knows if I had any chicken yuck on the counter. And then we're going to work on the potatoes. So you may remember, was that at Easter time? No, it was for St. Patrick's Day. One of our friends brought over all those 20 pounds of potatoes. And I did peel them and dice them and parboil them. So we're going to grab some of those out of the freezer. Put them ready to go. And because of the way they're done, I'm just going to break this up. I can throw these in the microwave. So I'm going to get a microwave safe dish. I'm going to throw some in the microwave and we're going to make some mashed potatoes to go with dinner tonight. And I have, this is one of 3 pieces, and I don't have the other 2 pieces, which is fine because this is the only thing I use this one for, this particular piece of Tupperware. It is one of their microwave safe pieces, and the one thing I use this for is making my pineapple upside down cake. The only pan I use to make my pineapple upside down cake. And yes, I make it in the microwave. And yes, that sounds crazy, and it comes out perfect every time. And we'll do that with summer coming. We'll do that together. Let's see. Oh, not you. You're too big of a chunk. I'm going to keep the big chunks in here. Whew. I'll set them on the counter because we know it's clean. I'm going to go ahead and just take bits that were broken up. Put those in there. And we're just going to pop this in the microwave for 6 minutes, see where it's at. And as they get done, then we'll make some mash. And there are, as with almost everything, there are as many ways to make mashed potatoes as there are people to make them. So what I will do is neither right nor wrong. It is just how I make them. And you are more than welcome to put in the comments how you make your mashed potatoes, because maybe it's something I haven't heard of and I may be interested in trying. But mine will have butter and sour cream and all the yummy, not so healthy things in them. All right, I'm gonna do up dishes. While that's going on, the green beans are going. Yeah, I think we're in good shape. But I will get back with you as soon as I'm done with the dishes. All right, we're back. So in the short time that I had the camera off, I did up all the dishes. And everything's done, washed, dried, put away. These strawberries, totally off the subject, but these strawberries were free from my grocer today. I don't know why, but there was a coupon that said strawberries were free. I clicked and added to cart because I love strawberries. Put this away. So I should show you this cereal bowl. So it says complimentary cereal bowl. And then on the inside, it says, you're handsome, you're the man, you're charming, you're strong. And it says you rule at the bottom. It was put out by a company called Our Name is Mud. And my friend Lauren got these for Nick and her son Mikey. And this was Nick's favorite cereal bowl. He ate out of this all of the time. And it is very chipped. And if it were probably any other piece of crockery in my house, it would have gone out. But because of that, I still have it until I can't use it anymore. Hanging on to it. Our chicken is looking amazing. I did have to move things around because the aluminum pan I had put on top and the air fry pan I had put in the middle rack and the top actually started browning quite a bit. And you may notice that Mr. Gimbal is working again because I'm getting followed through the kitchen and the battery did die. So I hooked up an external battery to it and we're good to go. Before we get on with the mashed potatoes, they're on their third round in the microwave. They weren't quite thawed out yet. You may know about this, you may not. I love it. This Dawn Power Wash is excellent. It's also really expensive. And there is a way that we can make this ourselves. So I got all the stuff out to do that, and I thought I'd share that with you. So the recipe for this is 2 ounces, which is roughly 4 tablespoons of the Dawn dish soap. This is the Dawn dish soap. I just take my big bottle and I will pour it into this one just because it's so awesome to use. And then isopropyl alcohol, 70% isopropyl alcohol. And then for me, for my dish soap, I'll put a little essential oil in just to give it a different scent. Because you can buy this, like this one, when we got this one, was fresh pine scent. I'm not a pine sol lover. I'm not quite sure how we ended up with this. And it doesn't matter. I mean, we used it up, but all they're doing is putting an essential oil in there as well. So I have my essential oil that I'll go ahead and put in. And it is 1 to 2 tablespoons of the alcohol. So go ahead and do that. Because I'm not really doing a full measure, I'm just going to use 2. Okay. We're done with that. And we've got 4 of the Dawn. Oh, another thing I did while we were off camera, I got a load of laundry going. Grabbed Jeff's laundry, put that in the wash, and I had brought a couple of throw rugs from the studio back to the house to be washed. So I had thrown those in before I even started filming. Got those in the dryer, put Jeff's clothes into the washer. I'll do mine later. I can't tell you how good this chicken smells. We're on tablespoon 3. Tablespoon 4. This is so great. All you have to do is push it and it just, you can have this whole thing upside down and it never leaks. It's great. Love it. Okay. Put that there. I put a few drops of the essential oil in there. How much? About that much. This is about half a dropper. I don't know how many drops that is, but I like the smell of this. This is by Pure Selects and it's called Carefree. And don't you want to be carefree when you're doing the dishes? We're already doing something we don't really want to do. And then we'll just add water to this. Kind of top it off, save room for your dispenser to go on. And now, obviously it's going to bubble. I'm going to let those bubbles die down a little bit. Shake her up. Just wash this bottle off. But that's it. Now you've got your down power scrub. Didn't have to pay anything extra for it. We're using the same bottle, which if you are all about saving the planet and ecology and all of that, that's a win there as well. When the bottle stops working, then you can throw it away. Get a new one. Maybe you buy something like this, but not glass to have around the kitchen sink. You know? And it works. Just like that. And it smells nice. I cannot tell you how good this chicken smells. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're done. We're done making our down power wash. That is taken care of, which is awesome that it was that quick and easy. I'm gonna just put these over here. I'll put those away in a moment. Let's check out our potatoes in the microwave. I feel like they can be hotter yet, so I'm going to let them go a bit longer in the microwave. Now my microwave is little, and it is not it is not a 1,000-watt microwave. 700 or 800, and the wattage does make a difference as to how long things have to cook. Like I can't do microwave popcorn in this microwave because the wattage isn't high enough, and it won't pop the popcorn. So that's going to take a little bit longer to cook. The chicken is looking pretty well boiled. The green beans taste amazing. I've already picked at them. The chicken is looking really good. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be willing to bet it's done. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. I'll turn it off and just leave it to sit in the oven. And my sister will be here at 5. I could do the shrimp now, and then everything would be done. I did buy a loaf of French bread again at our grocery store. It was on sale today for 97 cents for the loaf, so I thought that would be nice to have with dinner. I won't slice that right now because it'll be dried up in 45 minutes, but we can work on this shrimp. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna flip the camera around again, and that way you will be able to see what's going on from the stove. Before we do that, I will go ahead and slice the garlic though. So this is a garlic slicer. I'm gonna just come up close and personal and show you. So you can see it's got these little blades on the bottom. And this comes apart for easy cleaning. This goes in there. And then this pushes down. You can see how that is split, and then that is split. We're going to peel the garlic and put the garlic in here, and then you just have to turn it, and it gives you paper thin garlic slices. If you have fabulous knife skills, then fantastic for you. My knife skills and my knives are not that great, so I will be doing it this way. This piece is from Pampered Chef, and it is called a garlic slicer. You would think that I am sponsored by Pampered Chef, but I promise you, I am not. Even when I was selling it, I didn't make anything. All right. But I do believe in the product. I really do. And I used to find very similar pieces at Bed Bath & Beyond. They went out of business. So, and they started carrying a lot of like cheaper stuff too, you know. They didn't have as much of the Xylus brand and stuff like that towards the end. And maybe that's because they knew long before they made the announcement that they were going to go out. I'm just cutting off the ends of this. Piece. I'm going to have to try and beat up. It's really not a good piece of garlic. I have the fear that the way that the air dries out your bread or anything around here, it's probably doing that to my garlic as well. Like, I'm not using it fast enough, so I think I've got some bulbs that I didn't break up. I think I will break them up and put them in the refrigerator. Not today, but that will be one of my little tasks for later. I'll just take the ends off of those. This doesn't even feel like it needs to be. It makes it easier, but if it's drying out my garlic, that's no good either. Now, if you are local to Sierra Vista and you want to tune into another YouTuber, up-and-coming YouTuber, you could tune into Z-Line. That's the letter Z, Line, L-I-N-E. Eric Ziba, who is local here. He highlights and spotlights a lot of veteran-owned businesses, and he's a Gen Xer, so some of his stuff, you know, will revolve around that. And you are somewhat familiar with him if you've watched the videos like on the Peaches Pantry or that cybersecurity video that we did with him and my sister. But he does, you know, more than just whatever he's doing with me, obviously. So you can always check him out if you're, like I said, if you're local, because it probably has more to do with local stuff. Although I did notice he did spotlight a couple of businesses out of state, so you never know. And if you have a business that you want him to highlight, definitely check out his channel and reach out to him through the private message feature or direct message, whatever they call it. Everything changes. Who am I? What do I know? How do I keep up? I don't keep up. Okay, and I'm just popping all that garlic in there so you can see. I just put all that garlic in there. And go ahead and take this pan. I'm going to just try and get that water out of there, because when we put the oil in, it's going to sizzle and splatter. We're going to just go ahead and slice this garlic directly into this pan. Can you see that coming out? All you have to do is push down and twist. And I just want to show you how thin this comes out. I mean, I got all these little bits here. Can you see how thin that is. I mean, you can almost see through it. And the shrimp cooks so fast. I'm not going to be worried about the garlic burning. Not at all. So life is happening. PR needs to be fed. Jeff is going to feed her. So he's in the kitchen for that. Peas and carrots and her fresh pet tender chicken recipe. Trainer, I think I told you all, said to cut back on the dry, kind of work her out of the dry kibble, and because it's nothing but a filler, and give her the peas and carrots because we're concerned about her weight. Well, I'm more concerned about it than he is. We are a food is love family, but I also want her to live a good long time. All right, so there it is. There's just a couple bits of garlic left in the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in the pan. And here we are. Super thin sliced garlic. Easy to clean. It's okay, Jeff. You don't have to worry. He's trying to be so considerate, which we can appreciate. All right, so that's washed up. I don't have to worry about that later. And now all the garlic, all shredded in the pan. I'm going to clean up this bit off the counter, and then I am going to go ahead and move the camera and take you all over to the other side so you just see how quickly this really happens, like in real time, how quick it is to cook shrimp. I can't eat shrimp. I can cook it, I can touch it, but I can't eat it. I get very sick when I eat shrimp. So I will not be partaking in it. This smells so done. Yeah, we're going to turn that off. Actually went more than 5 minutes, but that's okay. I'm going to leave that open, just let some of that heat out. And I'll move you and we'll get right back on this. I really do want this to just work the first time I push the button, but it's not. So we'll be back. All right, we're back. Gimbal's still working. Actually got this silly remote after about 15 tries to go ahead and work. So we're back, we're at the stove. Our chicken is boiled. It's cooked. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off the heat, pop it over here. It'll be fine. I'm gonna turn that heat off. We're gonna turn this heat on. I almost want to cook this on the back burner. I hate having to reach off over the stove, but this burner is really too big for what I want to do. We have a little white wine here. We are using a little white wine, and the alcohol will evaporate. We're not getting anybody drunk. We're not causing anybody to lose their pudding and butter, their sobriety. And honestly, if we had white grape juice, probably work just as well. Okay. So we're going to let this butter melt. Garlic's already in the pan. I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to put in a splash of the white wine. Can you even tell there's any wine gone from the bottle? That's how little there is. And if it's any good, my sister will have a glass when she gets here. So we're going to let that go ahead and just melt. Once it's melted, we'll know that it's up to temperature. And, oh God, getting the cork out of that bottle was not easy. And I destroyed the cork. in the process. And now I can't get the cork off of the corkscrew. Oh, maybe my sister can get it when she gets here. I do have a wine stop bottle, a wine stopper, so I don't have to worry about that. All right, green beans are done. Let me show you what they look like. And they are so yummy, really. I'll just sit here and eat green beans. I like them a little crunchy still. All vegetables should be done a little bit crunchy still. My husband loves total mush. He has all his teeth. He loves mushy veggies. Where's PR? See, she'll eat a cooked green bean. PR, you want a green bean? It's cooked. It's not raw. Okay, Princess likes cooked green beans, not raw. That girl. Okay. Oh, garlic smells good. And already, what you see this, I think you can see, if you can see this steam coming out of this pan, that's the alcohol evaporating. And what little bit of liquid is in there is bubbling up. I'm going to make this early. He's going to start picking at it, and then there's probably not going to be much left for my sister. In we go. Now, this is what a piece of uncooked shrimp looks like. And I'm just showing that to you. Not because I think anybody's stupid, but when it comes to cooking shrimp, it happens so fast. And lots of people don't want to cook shrimp at home because they say it never comes out good. It's rubbery. It's this, that, or the other thing. It's because you're overcooking it. I don't have the heat on terribly high. I have it on a medium heat. The other thing you can do with this, add a little more butter to it and add breadcrumbs to it. Get like an oregano. And depending on where you get your Italian food, some scampi is made just like this. And sometimes they will put the breadcrumbs in it. I will probably add more butter to this because my husband loves his shrimp swimming in butter, even though they're not swimming anymore. And they're already starting to change. You can see the color is already starting to change in them. I will add a little bit of butter to this, a little more. And I'm going to get another stick of butter out of the refrigerator and put it in the dish. Just because I don't want to forget about it later and then go to have toast or want it for anything and then it's not ready. And then it's too hard to spread. We go through phases when it comes to the bread. Kind of not in a bread phase right now. I say that, but I bought a loaf of Italian bread or French bread for dinner tonight, and I will eat that. But I mean, you know, like we would have toast for breakfast, and we'd make sandwiches, and then we'd have bread again with dinner, and kind of like out of that phase. Maybe because the weather's getting a little warmer. Clouds burned away, sun is out. Nice. So this is looking good. I'm not looking to brown this, all right? That is not what we're looking for here. It's not what we're going for. And I need to keep that spoon away from the other spoon that I'm using in the veg because I don't want to get sick. And I will be eating the veg for sure. am going to take the chicken out of the oven. I'm going to tent it with foil. That residual heat could be drying it out a little bit. Turn the oven off. I'm going to grab foil. Mr. Gimbal may lose me, but I'm here still. Don't worry. Oh, still got me. Oh, felt that. Felt that one in the tail. I may call my doctor this week and say, can you order an x-ray for me? Hopefully she won't say, well, you need to come in. Something I missed about, well, I guess I could find out from my doctor that I work for. She is licensed in the state. And those, let me just put them on a plate. Why not? Let me just put them on a plate. Oh, they look really good. All right, I think we should taste. What do you think? I think I can just break a piece off with the tongs. Yep. Good. All right. Definitely recommend. You saw me do it start to finish. Definitely recommend. Super flavorful. And all I did was use that Parmesan wing sauce. All right. There you go. And you washed it. Talking with a mouthful. My mother would say, Rose, so rude. But you watched it all happen in real time too, so you know it wasn't difficult. You know it didn't take that long. Our shrimp is looking good. Give it a stir as soon as I get back to the stove. Oh, look at me. Put that chicken on the plate. I'm so into the taste of it, I forgot to cover it up. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. And I did not overcook it, so that's beautiful. Put that there. Now I can put this away. All right. Oh, so I started telling you at the start of the video, we went to the Pima County Fair yesterday. So, not quite as big as the South Florida Fair, but the South Florida Fair was for all of South Florida. This was just for Pima County. Okay, I believe our shrimp is done. Let's check our taste tester out, just to have him tell me. All right. Jeffrey, taste. I think it's done. Hot, it's out of the pan. Good? Okay, got the thumbs up. Seal of approval from the man that shall be eating it with the sister. So I'm going to turn the heat off on that and just show you what that looks like. Okay. So you see how they got kind of whitish. We're done. It's done. I'll grab the lid for that. We'll keep the lid on it. That'll help keep that just warm enough. Every time I get under here, I complain, saying there has to be a better way to keep lids. I know they make racks, but not for my configuration of my cabinets. All right, shrimp is done. We got the potatoes. Let's take a look at these potatoes. I'm going to put water in the bottom of this pan. We can let it soak. A little dish soap. Get this chicken over here. I'm just going to move this way. All right. I can use my mixer, but I'll do the hand mash right now, just because. So really good idea. If those potatoes go on sale, they're buy one, get one free, or just a really good price for your area, go ahead and get them. You just saw what I did with 20 pounds of potatoes and how handy it is. Oh, I'm dropping potato. How handy it is that they're already done. And the one video where I made the breakfast potatoes, I most certainly could do the same thing with this. Let me put this in a larger bowl because I'm just making a mess that I have to clean up, and I'm not all about that. I'd rather do one extra dish than have to do all of this nonsense. All right. This is my everything bowl, this stainless steel bowl. I use it for everything. I'll make a salad in it. I have my popcorn in it at night. Whatever it is that needs to be done is happening in this bowl, it seems. All right. Okay. So some people like their potatoes to be really smooth and creamy. You're going to break out your mixer, whether it's your hand mixer or your stand mixer. I, depending on the meal, do prefer mine to have a little more texture to them. Does that mean lumpy? You can call it lumpy if you want. But every once in a while, just to get that bite of potato. We have new neighbors that moved in across the street, and they've got 2 kids, and one of them is a junior in high school, and last night was the prom. We only know that because we saw him in a very dashing burgundy and black tuxedo, getting his picture taken in front of the truck that his dad just washed and polished. So that was really sweet. You remember your prom, or if you have kids, your kids' prom? Tell me about it. What was the theme? What were the colors? What did you wear? Looks like a lot of butter. There's a lot of potatoes in there. And I am going to salt and pepper them. I think mine, oh gosh, I don't even remember. Mine was so long ago. I remember the dress. I don't remember the theme. I don't remember the colors. I did go to several formal events. I lived on a military base, so there was the Marine Corps ball, and my mother made my dress for that. And it was a burgundy, strapless, fairly straight dress made out of like a stretchy polyester fabric. The elastic here, the elastic at the waist, and then a row of cream ruffle down the middle. And then there was a sash that went around the waist. And then the ruffle flounce at the bottom. Grabbing sour cream. And the American cheese wanted to join us, but we're not putting American cheese in these potatoes. Okay. And I went with, it was for the Marine Corps ball, and with a very young Marine. I went. How I met him, I don't know. He was probably like a friend of somebody's that was looking for a date. And I didn't have super long fingernails at the time, but I had longish nails. And all I remember about that whole night was that this guy was holding my hand in the back seat of the car, and he was using my fingernails to clean out underneath his. I was so gross. I kept pulling my hands away from him. This was so gross. I'm like, what? What is this? Seriously, not making that up. That was on Guam. Let's see. Went to that. Did I go to a Navy ball? I don't think I went to a Navy ball. My mom and dad went to several Navy balls. My dad was career Navy. He did 22 years, so they got a lot of that in. What else? Then I had my junior prom. I had my senior prom. My senior prom, my mom also made my dress. She was a wonderful seamstress. She made my dress for that as well. It was red satin brocade, a straight, pencil straight column skirt with a slit up the back and a bustier corset style top that zipped up the back. And she was not good with zippers. And she had a neighbor down the street who was from England help her with the zipper on both the skirt and the corset top. Let's see, what else am I throwing in there? Oh, I think I have more sour cream out in the garage. So I'm gonna grab that and come back and we're gonna talk about the fair some more. I don't know how I get sidetracked, but I do. And that's okay, we've got time together. No film to catch you. Oh, I hope it didn't pick up on you. Well, we'll find out. The camera may have picked up on you and may follow you instead of me. Are we back to me? Will you follow me or are you looking for Jeff still? Okay, I think you have me. All right. Yes, I have another sour cream. Yes, we're probably going to use it all. When I make mashed potatoes for the holidays, I will also use some cream cheese in it. I know some people use mascarpone, which is also good. All right, that should do us. Salt and pepper, a little bit of garlic. I prefer to use garlic oil, but I don't have any. Maybe I will omit the garlic today. So the fair. I don't do the rides. We go to shop, we go to eat, and we didn't eat. And we got a pretzel. Nothing spectacularly new over the top fair food wise. Kind of was looking out for it. Not that we always try it because we can't have the sugar and most of it involves massive amounts of sugar. One thing they have at this fair that they don't have in South Florida would be Indian fry bread, which is fabulous. It is, as the name implies, fried bread. But they will almost make it like sometimes they're like an empanada, sometimes like a big taco. It's so good, and it's really the spices that they're putting in the meat that's inside of it. But that they had at the fair here, which they would not have at the fair in South Florida. All right, I do want to add a little bit of milk to this. Milk is outside. I'm not going to go back out. I will use some of Jeff's half and half. It's fine. If you have heavy cream just adds to the luxury of the mash. So, yes, here we go. Now we're getting to a consistency. And it's 20 to 5. And pretty much everything's done, which is great. I was going to make a dessert, but I really didn't feel like making my own pie crust because I was going to do something with the strawberries and some, do a custard. So it's really a simple dessert. You have the pie crust, do the custard, and then just slice the strawberries on top of it. Super simple, super yummy. But I don't feel like making the pie crust, and I didn't have any already made. So, said I was trying to keep things relatively simple for myself. My sister won't care. Jeff probably won't care. If he wants something sweet afterwards, we have ice cream, he'll have some ice cream. This half and half away. I'm going to transfer the potato back into this container, the microwave container, pop it back in the microwave so we can just heat it up because it's cooled off a bit now. And I won't even bother heating it again until probably 10 minutes till, and only 10 minutes till because my microwave, like I said, is just a little slower because the wattage isn't as high. So, and there we are. There's our mash. Let's give it a little taste. Good. It'll be good when it's hot. It's not hot right now. Rinse that off. Push that around. Nice looking mash. And I'll pop that back in the microwave. Let's drop a dish soap. Everything's done. You have made dinner with me tonight. Wasn't all that complicated. Didn't really take that much time. We had a lot of time to chat. And I will finish telling you about the fair. Maybe when we go for our walk, I'll cover the fair. Too funny. All right, so that's everything. I'm going to clean up the dishes. I'm going to set the table for us. And by the time all of that's done, my sister should be arriving. And we'll have dinner. She's already told me in advance that she is very tired and she will probably eat and run, and that'll be perfectly fine. At least I know that she had a good homemade meal, and not that she doesn't cook, but it's something she doesn't have to do. She's got a crazy busy week coming up, so this will hopefully be helpful for her too. Just kind of give her a nice Sunday where she didn't have to do too much. I'm sure she did all her own meal prepping and everything already, but at least she can step out and have some dinner and get out of the house and then go back. So that's it. Thanks for cooking with me. Thanks for chatting with me. Make sure you let me know how you make your mashed potatoes. If you have some great way to make chicken, we have a lot of chicken. I am totally open to hearing what you all do. And maybe I'll give it a shot and make it on film and give you the credit for that. Yeah, that's everything. Have a good night, and I will see you again soon.